Alright guys, it's finally time. We're going to do an unboxing of the rx78-2 Gundam Perfect Grade Unleashed. This is the holy grail of Gundam kits, for me anyway. This was one of my holy grail kits and I finally got it. And now we're going to take a look at it for the first time together. So let's get this thing open. It is huge. Wow. That's a lot of plastic. This thing has tons and tons and tons of detail. It is freaking amazing. We're going to be taking a look at it, really close, in-depth look at it, and I had to open it here because it's just way too big for me to film it anywhere else. So now we're going to move over to the bench and take a good look at all of these sprues. So come on, guys, stick with me on this one. Okay, guys, the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the manual for this thing. And it really is, it's not just an instruction book. It's actually, I mean, it's not just a small little instruction book, like we normally get in the models. This thing is like a full-fledged magazine. I mean, there is so much in here. So let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look at the first page here. Here we have another great picture of a finished model. Take a look at that. You guys can freeze frame that and soak up all those details as much as you want. I mean, this is magazine grade paper. Here we have a really great shot of all of the stages of the build from, let's see if we can take the glare out of here. They call this phase build Gunpla Evolution Link System. You can see here it shows the entire Gundam from the I forget what they call these the skeleton, all the way to it with all of its armor plating and all of the gimmicks and features that this kit has, where everything opens up so you can see all the detail work on the inside. This is amazing. And all the different phases of the build from beginning to end. Now we can see some more of the features and gimmicks in this kit. It's got light up eyes. The vents light up. It's got LEDs for the jetpack as well. Here it's showing you different modes of... I'm wondering if it lights up all these different colors. I don't know. And the beam saber also lights up. Wow, that's crazy. And here we have the core fighter. We have a full transforming core fighter, which if you're into Gundam, you know that's the that slots into the midsection of the mobile suit. Detailed with pilot, a seated pilot inside the mobile suit, and a seated pilot inside the core fighter. All the weapons, shield. Wow, amazing. And now we finally get to the part where we can actually start building this thing. Here we have all the tree callouts, and there's going to be a lot of them. Starting here. Here we have more tree callouts, more. We have our LED light units. This is the beam saber light unit. Here we have more parts, metal arm parts. Wow, metal parts also. Stickers, decals. I mean, this is crazy. And here it's taking you through each phase of the build and which trees are going to be needed, I guess, for each phase of the build till you get to your finished product. And here we have all of our components getting built up. Here we have this internal frame. That's what they call it. Internal frame, the legs, the arms. Here it's showing you how everything goes together, the movements that you can expect, I guess, when you're done. More of the frame part, internal frame parts for the leg, assembling more of the leg. And here you can have the finished leg. It shows you what it'll look like and the kind of positioning you can get from it. Well, that's pretty cool that they actually have a photograph of the finished part. More leg, more arm. There's a lot of that in here. Here we have the legs going into the crotch area. Everything that bolts and connects to it. Wow. A little caution. They want you to be careful with something here. I don't know what that is, but we're going to be careful anyway. And here it's showing you all of the parts, I guess, that go together. I mean, we're seeing this for the first time, guys, so I know this about as well as you guys do. Tons more stuff here going together. I mean, this really is an incredible. And here we're starting with the arms. And here it shows you the finished torso and body assembly with the legs, everything in there, the kind of movements you can get. Wow, a lot more stuff here, more of the arms. Wow, I mean, this is going to be, oh, the truss frames for the legs and the waist. Wow. I mean, it's amazing. There's so much detail under the skin. It's almost a shame to put the skin on it. There's a lot more. And here we have the entire inner frame completed, which, wow, that's going to be amazing to see when it's done. Now we have our armor. We're installing our leg armor. And I guess here it's showing you what position to put the leg in to install the armor. All the lower foot portions. More, now we have our waist armor. Wow, the arm armor, look at this. That is amazing. All of the head armor, you'll build the entire inner portion of the head and then attach the outer armor part to it to give you the familiar Gundam look that we're all used to. But it's amazing that you'll have an entire structure inside there that you're going to build before you even get to that. And here we have our finished Gundam. And now we're going to start on our weapons. Here's our beam rifle. Beam rifle also has plenty of moving parts. Our beam sabers. The shield. Wow, look at all the parts. Even a shield is a massive assembly. Here we have our core fighter. We're getting started with that. Look at how many parts are involved in this small core fighter. Wow. And there's a core fighter. Here it's showing you how to attach it to the stand. So you can display it along with your Gundam. Or you can actually fold it up and insert it into your Gundam. And then you have different hands for holding weapons. That'll go attached to the gun, and then you'll just install the gun, the hand, but with a ball joint into the arm. Or you can attach the gun right to the back of the Gundam in its carrying position. Here you'll be installing your beam sabers into their carrying place. Hands also to hold the beam saber. Right here. Our shield, how to attach the shield to the arm. And then you'll have hands to hold the shield. So there's a bit of part swapping that's going to go back and forth. And it looks to me like there's some place to attach the gun to the shield itself. And here we have more of the arms and all the hatches and things and gimmicks that this thing has that you'll be able to move. Installing the LED unit. All of our metallic stickers. Wow. This really is an amazing kit. And here we have our finished Gundam. You can see here it's got all of the hatches, everything open. Now you can see it from the back, all of the access panels and all open. Wow, this is amazing. Here you have the inner frame, all the articulation that the inner frame is capable of, and here you have all the articulation that it is with the armor. And here you have your paint callouts. Wow, this is going to be a massive undertaking. So let's take a look at some of the parts. All right, here we can see we have our hands, and we have all the different parts for the different hands and the different features that they'll be able to do. All in chrome. It's a really nice chrome too. I mean, look at the detail in that hand. All the joints, all the points of articulation are rendered perfectly there. Let's see if I can get you guys a little better look at it. There we go. I mean, look at the detail in that hand, in the fingers. Look at that. I mean, that is amazing. And now here we'll have these. Apparently, these must be, I don't know what these are, but they're in a gold colored plastic, a metallic gold. Actually looks really nice. I'm not going to know what half of these things are until we're putting it together. And here we have an amazing tree. This is something that Tamiya is known for, where they can mold multiple color items on one tree, which really makes your life a lot easier when you're putting these things together. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I know that Bandai does this quite a bit. So we can have all of our yellow parts, our clear yellow parts, with black parts and red parts, transparent and solid, on the same tree. And these apparently are more of the inner frame parts. I mean, the detail on them is amazing. So let's go blow through the rest of these until we get to the armor, which is the really cool part, because that's the part you're really going to recognize. Okay, this bag apparently contains all of the weapons, and we can see part of the beam rifle here. You can see all of the detail in that. You can also see what I'm assuming is more of the beam rifle here. More of the inner frame parts. More inner frame parts here. You can see all the engraving in that. I mean, I'm going to say that probably 2/3 of this kit are the inner frame, as you're going to be building that up piece by piece, and then just attaching the armor to the outside of it. All right, now we're getting to some of the good stuff here. Here we have some of the exterior armor. Which really looks great. I mean, they're separated into so many parts that it's going to make painting a snap if you choose to paint it. I mean, this model looks so good you don't even have to paint it. Now, I'm wondering if they took care of all the seam lines to hide them, so that if you choose not to paint it, you can just build it straight out of the box. And here we have more metallic tones for more inner frame parts. We're just taking a look at some of the detail on that. And the engraving, which is really amazing. And here we have some more armor parts. The armor actually seems to come in a white and almost like a light gray, which it makes for a much more visually interesting item once you put the armor on it. All right, let's keep going with it. Okay, here we go. Here we have what I'm going to guess is probably part of the crotch area. I don't know. This is separated into its own bag. I'm kind of curious as to why. Here again, we have more of the inner frame parts. You see all of the intricate detailing that's put into these parts. I mean, that is some amazing stuff. Uh-oh. Okay, here we have more. These are part of the calves of the legs. And you can see all the detail in that. You can see it's a multi-layered piece, so that the deeper you look, the more stuff you'll see in there, which gives you a real three-dimensional look. Like if there's some depth, like if there really is a lot of stuff in there. Here we have the other half of those calves. Painting this is going to be really interesting because you want to have a realistic appearance to all of these metallic items. Leave the outer shell. And here we got a little more colored items here. We have more highly detailed frame parts. And then we come here, we have some of the outer armor parts, red. I'm sure some of these are also for the core fighter. That's, I think, is for the core fighter. But a lot more there. And now we're going to find some more body parts. I mean, which is, oh, hold on, I turned that up a little too high. There we go. Here we have the V, the head antenna. I'm gonna guess they're antennas. More body parts here. You guys who are Gundam experts, I like Gundam, but I'm no expert, but I'm sure you guys will know what all of this stuff is. Okay, now this is really cool. These are some of the inner frame parts, but these are in a different metallic tone, so you're going to be laying these over the darker parts. That's going to look really cool. I mean, take a look at how beautifully these things are molded, how sharp and crisp everything is. And it does look like they are undergated, so that hopefully you won't have too many nub marks showing through on ruining the metallic finish. I have noticed that Bandai is very good with that. Now here we have, since almost a envelope like bag, or is this a bag within a bag? I'm not really sure what's going on here. We have what appear to be photo etched parts. Look at that. Or metal transfers. We have our stickers. That'll really bring some color to the Gundam. And we have decals here, which I don't know if they're water slide or not. More metallic decals here. So here you have, in effect, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, look at that. 4 layers of decals and stickers that you'll be applying to this thing. Although I think that's photo etched. Okay, now here we have our LED unit. That's our LED unit that'll be going into the body. And this has got to be the beam saber that has the LED built in. I don't know what these little metal parts are. I don't know what they are. We have our engine jets. Not sure what that is. I'm going to assume that that's also an LED unit. So, very interesting. This is all our electronics gear. I'm looking from what I'm seeing here. All together. Okay, now here's something cool to look at. Here we have our beam saber, which is basically a lightsaber, if you're a Star Wars fan. Now, this is going to go into the handle of the beam saber with the LED in it, and it should make one of these things glow up really bright. That's going to be really cool to see. And here we have multiple versions of the pilot. Amuro Ray, who is the pilot of the Gundam. You have one of him standing, him seated, which is probably going to be in the core fighter, and the other one of him seated, which is probably going to be in the Gundam itself. And that, I forget her name, but she's another character from the show. Alright, let's take a look at some of the armor here. This is actually part of the head. And that's the back of the head. Here we have the beam saber handles. Okay, we have in the back here more of the, got to be more of the inner frame parts. Again, the sharpness and crispness of the molds are amazing. Here's the faceplate. Okay, that's the forehead area of the head. The front forward part of the head, which I think we already looked at that. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Okay, guys, here we have more armor parts, which look really cool. More armor parts there. More armor parts there. Sorry, I'm not taking them out of the bags, guys, but there are just so many trees here. Literally hundreds. And here's part of the blue part of the armor. And again, here we have our multicolored sprue. And we have here, not sure what those are. Again, this is one of the cool things that Tamiya does. I love how they can just add multiple parts onto one sprue. It's really cool the way they do that. I mean, not Tamiya, Bandai. I'm sorry, I keep calling them Tamiya. Okay, here we have a bunch of clear parts. We have a clear tree here, which is almost invisible in here, but let's see if we can give you guys just a quick look at some of the clear sprue there. And here we have more frame parts, and yet a different color plastic. I mean, this thing is going to look so good without painting that it's almost not even necessary to paint it. As you're going to have all of these different metallic shades. Layering on that inner frame, which is going to look amazing. And here we have more of the red body parts. There's going to be plenty of opportunity for panel lining here. And here we have inner frame parts for the hands. So the chrome parts of the hands that we saw earlier will actually attach, I think, underneath here. Because the Gundam hands are a dark metallic color. They're not chrome. So that's going to be amazing. You actually see the chrome bits, wow, in between. That's going to be a really cool look. Here we have more. These are foot parts, as that looks like a foot to me. I know that for those guys who aren't Gundam fans, this all seems like just a bunch of crazily molded different plastic parts, but to those of us who are into Gundam, this is amazing. And we have more inner frame leg parts, I'm going to guess. Here we have the calves here, which those other parts will bolt onto. I mean, and it is just going to be layer upon layer of parts. Okay, and here we have the shield. Look at the size of that thing. I mean, just for reference. Let me get you something to show you just for reference. Okay, this is the last Gundam that I built, which is a 1/144 scale, I think it is. And this is the size of his shield. And this shield is actually bigger than this entire mobile suit here. Now, this is also an rx78, which happens to be my favorite mobile suit. So you can imagine the massive size that this thing is going to be compared to this little guy here. All right, let's keep looking at this here. We have more inner frame parts. And more, I'm going to guess these are more armor parts. Okay, so that covers that. Okay, guys, so that is our brief look. I know it wasn't really brief because there was a lot to look at there. And sorry I didn't take them all out of the bag, but, you know, that's a lot of parts, so I'm not really going to take it all out now. Risk losing something. But we're going to get back into that, and we are going to knock that out of the park when we build it. You guys are going to want to stick around for that if you're Gundam fans. Even if you're not Gundam fans, you're going to want to stick around for that. Because it's amazing what Bandai has put together.